Gather around, little kitties, come around the campfire. It's time for Lerix to tell a story. You know, I wanted to test out a story time video for today, and especially because nothing's really going on the internet, nothing I really want to talk about for today. So I thought, hey, you know what? Let's do some more personality-based content. Let's get some of my stories out there, because I got a fair few. You know, I don't have a ton of life experience, being a pretty sheltered dude, 18-year-old, don't have much, but I have a couple good ones. And this is probably one of my greatest. Where the title didn't lie to you. I called my teacher a homosexual. I called her fucking gay. So let me set the scene, right? Let me set the scene of when this happened. This is about 2 years ago now. 2 years ago, sophomore year of high school. Sophomore year. At this point, at this stage in my high school career, I was on the basketball team. I was playing some good basketball sports. I was mainly playing video games for the better part of the day. Wasn't really working on YouTube stuff. I was kind of on and off with it. Little consistency here and there, but nothing serious like what I'm doing right now with the daily grind and everything like that. And I'm really trying to build a community nowadays. So nothing serious like that. My life really wasn't figured out yet. It was like that weird stage where I didn't know what I was doing yet. I knew I wanted to be either a YouTuber or an NBA player. That was kind of like my little dream when I was growing up. I wanted to be a big NBA player, mainly like all kids who play basketball, but that was starting to fade out and I was thinking about reality more and more. And this is when I thought, you know what, I'm gonna be a YouTuber, which technically could not be also reality too, so maybe that's still a little bit of a dream, but hey, you know what, I think I'm doing pretty good so far. The reason I bring that up is because I wasn't really trying in school. I was more like the class clown, mess around kind of guy. I wasn't really giving a lot of effort versus now in my senior year, funny enough, I try hard and I'm really engaged in my studies and all that. Senior year of high school, when it doesn't goddamn matter, when my grades don't matter, when it tends to go into colleges, basically anything. Senior year is kind of a throwaway year. But sophomore year, playing basketball, didn't really care about my grades, so nothing was really that important to me. So I was like, kind of just, I didn't really care about saying anything, right? I was kind of a little bit unhinged, so I really didn't care. I really didn't care about much. I was doing just a lot of random things, and this was one of those random things. And this all took place in math class. My algebra class, couldn't stand math. I didn't pay attention. I actually cheated through my whole way throughout high school, and now in senior year, I don't have a math class, so I didn't do any goddamn math. I cheated the whole goddamn time, either off of other people or on my phone. Still don't know shit about math. But my teacher at this time was a short, kind of like, she kind of looked like, you know, she kind of looked like, let's just say, the Ellen DeGeneres build. The Ellen DeGeneres archetype. You know what? I don't know if I really want to go too much into detail or insult her that much because, you know what? I could get fucking I could get shit on because I may or may not could still get shit on for this. So you know, I'm gonna pull my punches. She was very nice teacher, little strict, but at the same time I was an asshole in that class, so I really can't give a good judgment of my character saying she's strict. She was probably a normal, alright teacher. Nothing wrong about her. Nice person. I'm just a fucking asshole. But one day around the time of like homecoming, so this would be September, right? Basically kind of like the beginning of the year, the first few months of the year, because homecoming was coming around, and like conversations about who was gonna get asked, who was going to the dance was just like the main discourse around the school. And this got brought up with the teacher. We have like this like downtime of like 20 minutes before we go to lunch every time, and it's more just like conversations among students. People work on their homework during that time, try to cram in last minute shit, or some other kids try to talk to the teacher and just like fuck around saying, oh, what'd you do this weekend, what'd you do over fucking break, stupid shit like that, you know what I mean? And that happened one day. Some kids started talking to the teacher about homecoming, and the conversation got brought up about her homecoming and her experiences during that stage in her life. And this is fucking cancer. So the conversation amongst the girls in the class, they were interested. They were like, oh my god, who did you ask? Oh, did you go? Oh my god, like stupid girl shit like that. They were like intrigued about Mrs. fucking math teacher's homecoming experiences. And she started answering a couple questions here and there about like, oh, back in my day, it was so much different. Oh my god, the guys like had to call the girls on their fucking house phone or some bullshit like you get what I mean. You get what I mean. She was going into depth depth about that bullshit. But she wasn't really answering directly about herself and her own experiences, and she was kind of avoiding that question. But eventually one of the girls asked again to confirm, like saying, oh, did you go? Oh, did you ask someone out? Who did you go with? And right after she answered the question, this is where my dumbass comes in, who was just playing like games, watching YouTube videos in the corner with like a couple friends and whatnot like that. I'm pretty sure we were watching like some video game online, some YouTuber playing a video game or whatnot like that. But for some reason, this caught my attention. This specific question, like, you know, when you hear just random things that catch your mind in class, yeah, this is what happened right there. For some reason, this specific question caught my attention and caught my eye, and she responded directly to if she went, to saying, yeah, I went a couple times. And then my dumbass says, with who? A girl? Like completely out of the blue. I wasn't in this conversation. I wasn't in this fucking shit at all. I was just being a little prick in the fucking corner, playing my little ass video games, watching some YouTube shit. And for some reason, I just scream out, like I yell out, with who? A girl? And initially, I didn't really think I said it that goddamn loud. But it was one of those moments where you say something, and then the whole fucking class goes radio silent. Not a peep, motherfucker. If somebody dropped a goddamn condom, you would hear it. Why is that the example? What the fuck is wrong with me? But the weirdest thing is that everyone was talking at this time. As I said, this was like time period where people were just chatting with each other, just a downtime before lunch to get everyone on schedule for like the school day and everything like that. So everybody was talking, everybody was doing their own shit in their own little groups. But for some reason, all the same time, bro, all the same time, I get shit on and I get fucked over and everyone goes silent as soon as I say, with who? A girl, motherfucker? Give me a break. You didn't go with a man. Like... what the fuck? But get this, even though I was pretty dumb at this stage of my life and I wasn't really trying with my grades and all that, I was a pretty goddamn good one at, like, I was experienced in getting in trouble and knowing how to get out of it. Because I've gotten my fair share of fucking trouble. Goddamn, back in the first grade, I got, like, red lights. That's what you call, like, detentions. I got red lights for, like, giving kids wedgies. Or, like, literally writing the F word on notes in class in, like, first grade. That's a different story, but I don't think anyone gives a fuck about first grade. But I was experienced. That's what I'm trying to say. I was experienced in trying to get out of shit. So, as soon as the whole class goes silent, the teacher obviously heard what the fuck just happened, and her face goes from like a cheerful kind of like awkward smile from talking about homecoming to just no, but you guys get what I mean, like immediately pissed, like immediately, what the fuck? Who just said that bullshit about me? And my Oscar fucking performance, I deserve a goddamn Nobel Peace Prize for this shit. What do I start doing? As soon as she starts looking around the class of where the noise came from, the direction came from, I start doing this bullshit. I start looking around as if it wasn't my stupid ass. And meanwhile, everyone in the class is just looking at me. Like, especially all, like, the good little girls, the good little goody two-shoes. They're just staring at me like, what the fuck, dude? Cut the bullshit. Motherfucker, we know it was all you. But get this, dude. The teacher is looking around still. She's looking around. It doesn't seem apparent that she knows exactly who it is, but she's clearly pissed. And all this is happening in like a goddamn few seconds, right? A few seconds. I'm going in like slow motion anime fucking time. Like with these big monologues going on in my head and what I'm thinking, like mid-sentence, mid-thoughts of like 0.1 nanosecond and shit like that. And I'm thinking I'm fucked, right? My face goes like all red because that's what happens when like some shit happens to me or I get in trouble or whatnot like that. Because everyone's staring at me. Everyone's staring at me. I'm thinking like, holy shit. I'm gonna play my ass off acting like this wasn't me. And my friend next to me was like, dude, you're fucked. What does the matter with you? And some of the kids in the front start looking back and start asking, was that you? Did you say that? Because they didn't initially know, but they heard the sound from me saying it behind them. And I was like, no, who was that? And meanwhile, still everyone's looking at me. I mean, shit, I think a couple like girls were kind of like pointing their fingers, not like directly like, it was this motherfucker, but they're like pointing their fingers like, dude, yeah, the jig is up, motherfucker. So then the teacher goes and walks over to the goddamn phone. And let me remind you, this This is all within like goddamn 5 seconds of all the shit I just said happening. But then she walks over to the phone. And what is she going to the phone for? To call the dean's office. Because that's what happens when you get a motherfucker canned, when you get him in trouble, when you get him suspended, expelled, detention from school. She calls the dean's office and says, can I get a dean down to the math room? And she says like the room number and all that. And it's just silent. It's silent in the room. And then the weirdest thing happens, right? The weirdest goddamn thing happens. She just walks back and starts pacing back and forth, just waiting for the dean to come. And let me remind you, it's like fucking 5 minutes before the bell's about to ring and we're about to leave this classroom. So I'm on a goddamn time crunch right now, but I didn't think that someone wasn't going to show up. I was thinking some dean's gonna come down here, she's gonna give him the rundown, it was this motherfucker, or at least a couple people like near me. I thought at least like there was gonna be like 3 of my friends interrogated about this bullshit, and eventually the truth would come out. But dude, she didn't know it was me. She didn't know it was fucking me. My Oscar performance paid off, dude. It paid off. It saved my ass in the end. So the weirdest thing happens. The dean didn't even come. The dean just said, fuck this shit. He didn't even show up to this shit before the bell rang for like 5 minutes. And it was the longest goddamn time known to man. Like waiting for these 5 minutes, waiting for the bell to goddamn ring. And eventually we just left. We just left. She didn't give us, I didn't even look at her to see if she was like eyeing me down. But we just left. We left the goddamn room. And I'm thinking, okay, you know what? I just lucked my ass out a little bit this time. My ass is gonna get plowed tomorrow. Like, I'm gonna get plowed one way or another. I'm gonna get an email at home. I'm gonna get called. I wasn't like jumping up and down enjoying shit like that. I was still pretty fairly shitting my pants because I just called this motherfucker pretty much gay. I just said, who? You're going with a girl, right, bitch? You asked a girl? Like, that was such a shitty thing to do. But then the next day comes around, nothing happens throughout the whole goddamn school day in all my other classes. Math class comes around, nothing happens, dude. Nothing happens. We just go over a lesson, it's the same bullshit. She doesn't even speak about it. Everything's normal, and it just goes on. And then the next day passes, and my ass got away with it. I got away with calling my teacher fucking gay. Get shit on. But seriously, I don't understand it. Like, I've never gotten that lucky with anything. I've been unanimously shit on and unlucky with getting in trouble in the past with people. But this time I lucked out. This time I absolutely lucked out. Especially over probably one of the biggest things I ever done, to be honest. If she really wanted to take offense to this, I could have got easily like 3 suspensions for this easy. Because I also go to a very strict school about these things. A very strict school. But yeah, that's the story about how I called my teacher gay. Hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know if I'm a really good storyteller or not, so let me know if you did enjoy this. Like, genuinely, I want to see if you guys do enjoy this and want to see it in the future, because if not, I don't know if I'll do it that much, but I do have a lot of other stories that I think would be fun to tell. So yeah, honestly, let me know. I want to read the comments and see if you guys enjoy this type of shit. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see ya.